Leave you laid out on the floor, try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Yo, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. A-Side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know where we at with it. WCS back in the building. It's a Memorial Day weekend for a lot of you all. Be safe out there. Like I said before, if you know a veteran, please don't go up to them and say, thank you for your service. Memorial Day is not for those who are walking around amongst us still living, able-minded. It's for the fallen. So you pay your respect to those who you might know who have lost their comrades while serving, you know what I'm saying, or not. The ones in combat, ones in garrison. That's what it's about. It's not thank you for your service day, you know, on Memorial Day. Memorial does not say anything except a reflection, right? That's all it is. I'm just trying to educate y'all. I'm not trying to talk at you or talk down or anything like that. I'm just trying to educate people that come up and say thank you for your service. And it's not that if you're gonna do any type of recognition. So let's get to the point at hand. As I always said before, the WCS has to continue to remind the people that there was a situation to take place way back in the day. You know, we can say way back in the day because it's coming up on a 2-year anniversary. Okay. And somehow, you know, every time I bring this up, you know, people feel some type of way about me bringing it up as if it's not a part of the boxing annals. It's absolutely a part of the boxing annals, y'all. There's no way to get rid of it. It happened. Okay. I'm not going to continue to try to re-explain, remediate, revisit, break it down like it's day one. It's the fight card that changed the scope of boxing. The main event that happened changed boxing forever. Why? Because it proved that just because you have a popular fighter that's in your Rolodex that you love calling up every time there's a boxing debate, and you love saying how good that fighter is, and they got an educated jab. Oh my goodness, what is Crawford gonna do? If he stay on the inside too long with Errol Spence, it might be detrimental to his freaking career. It may be detrimental. You out there sounding like Howard Cosell. They out there sounding like Howard Cosell. If Crawford stays on the inside too long, he may meet his demise. The popular Spence out of DeSoto, Texas, he's just too strong for the Crawford out of Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha is not known for many sports, but boxing is one of them. And we feel today that Crawford has made a terrible decision, facing the more stronger, bigger boogeyman in Errol Spence. Y'all sounding like Howard Cosell up in here, yo. How many times does a grown man have to refresh your memory that the reason why we are where we at, okay, It's because of that day. Your fighter, all he had to do was what? Follow through with what you imagined. And your thought process, just like Canelo Crawford, in your thought process, you felt what? That the fight was going to go a different way. I don't need to define Different. No, 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 no. Because I'm speaking to grown adults. I'm speaking to educated, intellectually advanced adults. You know what I'm saying? So look, hit me out. You had ample amount of time to prepare for the final exam. Did they not? Shout out to JG, just a guy in the building. What's good with it? 402 in the building. You had ample amount of time leading up to that fight to study for the exam. Now, of all the cross-threading of biased opinions and narratives, the followers that jumped in the herd of sheep, and I just loved how y'all just circled the wagon all the freaking time. Confident and heavy lifting, Spence, heavy lifting. He'll beat everybody on Crawford resume. He'll do this. It's the same shit over and over again, bro. It's like when that street band pull up and you have to walk past them every day to go to work. You know what songs they playing. That's just how it was when it came down to that awful, that day of brutality and violence that stricken the boxing community. Yes, it's up to me, WCS, to report the news. You can't sit up here and have a problem with me reporting something that's actual factual. This is actual factual, bro. This fight right here is why we're about to see Canelo take the same type of punishment. Now, I told you all it's not going to be sound-minded individuals that want to listen to WCS and feel like they can keep their calm and peace and sanity. I'm here to take you through just a little stroll. Most of the time it's an hour and a half, some of the time it's 2, but a little stroll. That's all I'm trying to do. That is all I'm trying to do, people. I'm trying to take them to a little stroll down memory lane. Because without the past, there is no present. And God damn it, somebody didn't take the rematch. You understands me? Do you understands me? Do you understands me? Somebody didn't take the rematch. That's not Crawford's fault. But while I'm talking about rematches, let's reflect upon that in dramatic fashion. I tell you all the time, you can go here and it's dependent on your mouthpiece. Some people don't like how you explain your delivery of certain type of content or criteria because they just don't want you to be right. I understand where the origins come from. It's embedded in you. People pick up certain behavior and mannerisms from others. And sometimes they're not just smart enough to know how to filter out those pollutants that cause them to act a certain way. They should just let that shit fly by. It's almost like being in the pandemic. You put on a mask for whatever the reason was. That's what the rules was. But some people, they'll see other behavior and know it's not right, but they'll follow suit. They are of the sheep mentality. That's what a lot that was happening that caused a mass casualty rate back then in 2023. Now, people get mad at me bringing this shit up, but Crawford did what he was supposed to do, did he not? He did what he was supposed to do. Crawford did what Crawford was supposed to do. And since Crawford did what he was supposed to do, go in there and destroy his adversary, it was up to WCS to put my thought process together to remind people of that 1-year anniversary that happened last year. Now, there have been people that say some unkind words about me. You know, it's been some people that refuse to look past the subscribers, the views, and all that. But one thing I know for sure, if they catch me live talking about this particular subject matter, they're going to tune in one way or the other. They're going to tune up. They're going to tune in on speakerphone, headphones, or even driving somewhere, making an appointment in their daily schedule. Because they know, God damn it, it's a reason why we at where we are today. It was because of that T-Mobile Massacre. The T-Mobile Massacre, where he beat Errol Spence in 9 rounds, and he was set to fight a rematch. He did his part. Errol Spence selected not to engage in a part 2. Once again, I repeat, the challenging part for comprehension when it comes to the fight fans is the fact that the whole lead up was enjoyable. Look, y'all, it was enjoyable, sociably enlightening, all the way up to the second round. Now, to all you haters out there that purposely talk shit about Crawford leading up to the Canelo match, we're going to get to you. We're going to get to you because it takes a lot of energy for you to be fake. It takes a lot of energy for you all to be on Skid Row, upset, still trying to find your way back home after July 29, 2023, goddammit. Now, why is this so important? It was one point in time that Crawford was thinking nobody else except Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence bailed out because supposedly, allegedly, he had to have eye surgery. Okay? With this eye surgery, you all, it canceled. It defaulted the rematch between Crawford and Spence. Crawford's culpability is at 0%. And why the rematch didn't happen. Unlike the way people were saying, why Crawford didn't fight Spence this time, why he didn't fight Spence that time, why he didn't fight Spence over here, over there. You couldn't turn on, go to YouTube a single day leading up to this fight and not hear them say the same shit. See, the reason why some of you going to say I keep on mentioning the same shit is because you don't want to hear me talk about something that played out that you wasn't expecting. You know what I'm saying? Deeply in your heart of hearts, your shit is still leaking. Yeah, you're still leaking. They always say it's not good for, your shit to be leaking inside. Some of you still got that mucus buildup. You know what I'm saying? Some of you still never quite recovered from hating on Crawford so much. How many times do I have to explain to you all? Just because I remind you of a situation that cause and effect what we have going on September 13th was zero culpability of Crawford. Spence could have changed everything. Okay? To you naysayers out there, Spence could have changed all of this. Okay? You're focused on the wrong fighter. Spence could have changed all of this Canelo talk. Because ultimately, a lot of you wanted Spence to fight Canelo at 147. Yes, you did. I remember. A lot of you were authors. You was up here writing books on how Spence was so damn talented, so tough, so big for the welterweight division. Oh my God, what it would be to have a collaboration between Errol Spence at 147 and Canelo at 168. You remember, don't you? Shout out to Concourse in the building. Shout out to AB in the building. The OG Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz and more in the building. Mike in the building. What's good? My guy Haynes Legacy in the building. God bless. What's good with you, man? Hope you're feeling well. Yo, remember? Right? They remember that when it came down to this fateful, ill-fated day, all Spence had to do to eliminate September 13th was to show up for the rematch. But before that, All Spence had to do when he was provided the opportunity the first time around, all he had to do was go in there and defeat Terrence Crawford. That's all he had to do. Is that not too simple, y'all? That's all Errol Spence had to do. The past is has a lot to do with the present. And unfortunately for this present right now, we have a different name that people still want to consider to be unpopular, that's set to face Canelo Alvarez later on this year. But WCS is telling you once again, I'm giving you the terms. If you have the opportunity to revisit, all you have to say to yourself, how did we get to where we are now? Who is responsible? Well, I can tell you who's responsible. I told you already. All this man had to do was pretty much get the job done. It wasn't no allegations on Errol Spence, except that he had a little extracurricular activities outside of the ropes. But when it came to tests and everything, Errol Spence was good to go. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence was good to go. Errol Spence never had no beef problems, neither did Crawford. Both of these fighters was well matched, both on the pound for pound list, right side by side, juxtaposed. You know, we had the perfect fight under the magnifying glass. And when I say magnifying glass, I'm talking about we had two fighters that never popped dirty. We had two fighters that was on the pound for pound list, highly ranked on the pound for pound list, top 5, y'all. We had all of this. We had all of this. We had the perfecto right there in front of us. But it still wasn't good enough for the fight fans until they see it. Because, you know, even though we may, in hindsight, overlook it, but humans, we're visual. And we can talk about this fight and who did the heavy lifting and who sold more tickets and who put more butts in the seats, who beat better opposition. But goddamn it, when it came down to the boy, when it came down and them freaking weeks, them months ticked down to weeks, and them weeks down to days, and them days down to hours, shouty. Things started getting real serious when the weigh-in happened. All the rah-rah from the crowd and shit. One person could have prevented this whole September 13th date. And his name was Errol Spence Jr. Don't blame Crawford. Stop finding ways to blame Crawford. Stop talking shit to his fans. Because what we was able to do in our celebration is for a correct reason in history, was for the right reason in history. And you know what that was? We was on the right side of Team Crawford going into this fight, July 29, 2023. And we won. We was victorious. When he sat on the throne, yeah, we was up there on the throne too. We was dancing around in the pantheon of boxing. Yeah, it was one hell of a chevaux, goddammit. But I'm trying to explain to you all, free of charge, pro bono, that you cannot continue to blame Crawford for going in there and being an overperformer at his job on July 29th. This fight wasn't nowhere on the radar, y'all. It was Errol Spence in the rematch. EJ couldn't make it. So altogether, can we agree that those of you that's out there need to, pretty much find your inner self, get some type of relief, find where your spiritual, where you can find your spiritual understanding, your relief point. Don't you know that harvesting all this hate towards one fighter, all because it's easy for all of you to get on the bandwagon, you know what I'm saying, dust in your mouth, riding around the corral over and over and over again, trying to talk about the same shit. It was one person that could have stopped all of this, halted history at its finest. If everything that you all was talking about would have resurrected the right way, we wouldn't be up here talking about Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. How can you all sit up here and blame Crawford for calling out Canelo when the rematch didn't happen because Spence said he had cataract surgery? You're talking about a fighter who enacted the 30-day rematch clause. How can you blame Crawford? You can't blame Crawford for shit. Those of you that's up here, trying to break down. I love seeing it. Crawford loses to Canelo. Here's why. I love reading that because I can go back and say Errol Spence was beat the fuck up by Crawford, and here's why. I can always go back to that day. Excessively, I can go back and activate that day. But let's move on to the present as to why Errol Spence failed at stopping this part of history. We have a fight that's going on September 13th, right? It don't matter where it's at. But like I said for Spence, I'm gonna say for Canelo, this is Operation No Mas, Canelo. You are the perfect example as why history repeat itself, Canelo. Canelo is the perfect example as to why history repeat itself. Crawford is only right inside 2 years removed from one of the best boxing matches in this era, one of the best defeats of this era. He's not too far off. But now we have another fighter that's in the fold that's set to fight Crawford. Now, this has a little bit more prerequisites to it. We have a fighter in Canelo Alvarez, right? That's has 67 bouts. He's more than qualified. He's been on the pound for pound list, 63 victories, 2 defeats, 2 draws, 39 hosted knockouts. That tells me, this guy is him, right? He has so much experience, 15 years, old, turned professional over there in Mexico. Okay, you got Crawford, who's 41-0, 31 knockouts. He's 37 years of age. I mean, both of these fighters have been on the pound for pound list, damn near the same amount of equity. Okay? Praise and value high for both fighters. But where that becomes skewed, okay? Where that becomes extremely fuzzy, blurred lines, is the hate that comes from the fight fans. Why would they do this to Crawford? It's because he is easily unlikable by those who just don't want to accept that he's a special type of fighter. Crawford is a special type of fighter. And just like I mentioned for Errol Spence Jr., I'm going to mention for Canelo Alvarez. History repeat itself. Canelo will not be on clenbuterol this fight. He won't be on clenbuterol. This is Operation No Mas. Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran. But the only thing about it, it's going to go down in the first. It's not going to go down in the second. Terrence Crawford is that talented. Okay? A lot of people overlook one thing about Errol Spence Jr. They would never, ever say. Some of them didn't have the courage, the intestinal fortitude to stand up and say Errol was one-dimensional. Flat-footed, come forward fighter. Flat-footed, come forward fighter. Flat-footed, come forward fighter. Flat-footed, come forward fighter. Educated jab, flat-footed, come forward fighter. Educated jab, flat-footed, come forward fighter. Come forward, flat-footed, educated jab. Same shit all the time. Do you hear what they saying about Canelo? How is Crawford going to hold up when he's punching him, when Canelo's punching him to the arm? Now, this is boxing. This is a sweet science now. Just relax a little bit. This is boxing. This is boxing where a fighter is allowed to use his feet to move around. to adjust, to create different angles, right? That's what a boxer is there for, right? A boxer is allowed to use their hands offensively and defensively. Okay. So here we have the Canelo fans who are somewhat inebriated. I don't know if it's off tequila, Bacardi. I don't know what it is, but they're somewhat inebriated to continue to mention what Canelo does very well with certain fighters. They are up here thinking that this is a Marvel comic movie and we are going off a script. Canelo's going to punch Crawford in the arm. Canelo's going to knock. You don't believe that. Respecting all of your sanity and ambition. You don't believe that. How can you sit up here and believe that a fighter like Errol Spence had the educated jab, educated. That's all you heard. And then when the fight started in the second round, 1, 2, you know what I'm saying? Educated jab. Now you have the same repeat. Canelo Alvarez gonna punch Crawford in the arm. Canelo Alvarez is gonna do this. He's much stronger. It's weight class for a reason. You know what? Y'all boxing fans are a special group of people. Because I would have thought that when Crawford provided you all with a masterclass performance, that you would appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Tuition free, God damn it. When Crawford gave you all a masterclass, tuition free, when he went in there and beat your favorite fighter, I thought you would be more grateful than you are now. What, you thought I wasn't going to come back around? You thought because I took some days off, I wasn't going to start ramping up the reality? See, people can go on here and talk about this fated day and say the same thing and think they're saying what I'm saying. The delivery is different. It is. The delivery is different. You can deviate however you feel like it. But at the end of the day, Crawford gave the fight fans a masterclass tuition free. Why do you all have a reason to be mad at this man for giving a masterclass on Errol Spence Jr. for free? Tell me that. Because as I was coming up, man, and the older boxers, when they put on a damn good performance, it just didn't die down. You know, within a year's time frame, people continue to talk about it. We're not going to say that, oh, we should just wait till Crawford retire from the sport and then give him his flowers. No. It's been several times over where fight fans, they want to act like they're unwilling to learn. This man donated back to the community being boxing fans, and put on an absolute master class of domination and made Spence look like he was not supposed to be in there. He made Spence look like he was never on the pound for pound list. He made him look like he was never in the rankings. He made him look like he was never Olympian. He made him look like he just took up boxing at a late age. 3 years prior, he made that man look like he was feeble. He made Errol Spence look like he wasn't supposed to be. It wasn't meant for him to be a boxer, period. He made Errol Spence look like he took up the wrong sport. He did. He made EJ look bad. And with all that said, we move forward. We had the ones that was hating on him try to come up here with that fake love. Did nobody ask for that coconut salad with raisins? Did nobody ask for that bullshit? They want to give him a 48-hour reprieve. Hey, you know, he did what he's supposed to be, man. I picked the wrong one. Man, I didn't see that come. Of course you didn't see, because you was obscured. When you a hater, them blockers sometime fog your cause your vision to be impaired. It fogs your sense of judgment, and that's what happened, y'all. They made the wrong judgment call. So as Bud is getting ready to navigate himself away from July 29, 2023, which will always be a part of his payload, that will always be in his pack. Always. That will always be in his pack. I say the good with the bad. The only thing I say about Crawford that day is that he made that fight look too goddamn easy. But see, when you fuck with somebody, as long as they was fucking with Crawford, he's not going to play around with his food. When he's finally able to put his hands on his adversary, he's going to rip him apart. And that's exactly what Crawford did. And that is pretty much where we're going to be at September 13th. You have individuals playing around with fire. He put on an absolute masterclass, tuition free. And these cats are still angry at Crawford for doing what they support. They support boxing. They support the sweet signs. But they're still mad at Crawford for completing the job, going above and beyond the call of duty and stopping this man, making him look worse than Jose Benavidez, making him look worse than Edis Kavalauskas, making him look worse than Jeff Horn, making him look worse than Sean Porter, making him look worse than Kell Brook. He made Errol Spence look bad, all the way to the point where the man had me return back to the sport. Now he goes in there and steps and have his first fight back with Madrimov. Kind of reminds me of David Avanesian, because they were so mad that he was fighting David Avanesian instead of Errol Spence. They started talking about coming up with ways on how Avanesian can catch Crawford, how Crawford can have such a bad time. That didn't work out too well in the 6th. So he goes up here and fight Madrimov, and the very same individuals that was wiping his 147-pound knockout spree down to a little of nothing and saying he didn't fight nobody, his competition was soiled, there's no way that you can respect it, he didn't do anything, Errol Spence would have did the same. He goes up there and goes to this, and all of a sudden they want to redirect and say, hey, how can he knock out all those people and then he step up competition and he can't get it done? Well, let me explain something to you. The struggle is real. A sheep can't tell when there's a wolf that's sitting there, you know what I'm saying, foraging right amongst them. The numbers are dropping. And that's the way it goes when you have individuals that refuse to stand up for a situation and keep it neutral. They said that Terrence Crawford looked like he was struggling. He couldn't freaking knock him out like he did at 47. His power don't carry up to 54. But yet, Canelo's over here, supposed to be the one that next up in line. Did I skip over all that? Yeah. You know, it was a once upon a time that Crawford has said that his weight class is for a reason. And then somehow he came around and he said, you know what? I'm hearing what I'm hearing. It's about time to show them that I'm not fearing. I'm all about the smoke. I think if all the stars align right, I want to face Canelo. And when the word starts circulating and buzzing, right? You know how to get when it's in the boxing, you know, stratosphere, how it floats around and people start picking up on it. The scent changes a little bit. The ones who support him start talking. Hey, man, I heard Crawford talking about fighting Canelo. That'd be a good fight. Tough fight, you know, it's all about Canelo. You know, what is he going to do? You know what I'm saying? He's undisputed 168. Will he take the fight? And then, you know, they start giving Canelo the mic. Canelo starts saying, oh, he's small. I don't from it. You know what I'm saying? Low risk, low reward. And guess what? All his little cronies start regurgitating that same vomit All of them start regurgitating that same and scooping it up and rehydrating and then understanding that this is a different type of nutrition, eating it like oatmeal, y'all. They was over eating that goddamn porridge like oatmeal. Canelo said he too small. I don't gain nothing from fighting Crawford. He too was a hater. He too took the same route. But he want to get mad if someone want to ask him about David Benavidez. Staying on topic, he said that it's easy money. He said it's easy money. I loved it. I loved it because Crawford's gamesmanship is on another level, y'all. Crawford's gamesmanship it holds a different type of growl to it. To hear Canelo say he's easy money, I can only imagine what Crawford, when his ears heard that, I wonder what his reaction was like. Is he talking about me or is he talking about somebody else? Is there another nigga in the professional ranks on the pound for pound list that's easy money? Canelo really started talking crazy, in my opinion, because he felt like the fight wasn't going to happen. I think Canelo felt like he can just continue to be the prima donna that he is and pick these mediocre fights and move on. And being that Crawford was already had this fan base of haters, they wasn't going to allow the fight to happen. They was just going to keep on shutting it down, and Canelo can go and do what he want. But when you underestimate certain human beings, you do find out, don't you? And that's exactly what happened with Crawford. We found out that Crawford, outside of Omaha, inside of Omaha, he was connected to some people. I mean, we found that out when he was trying to lock in the deal between him and Errol Spence. When people was dogging him out for the hedge fund people. You know what I'm saying? He's been showing his hand a little bit, Crawford. That he's a lot more than freaking boxing. And he couldn't do anything if Al Haymon didn't want nobody else touching it. But he got the fight made, and both fighters went in there and made healthy amounts of money. Now, when we fight through all the red tape and the prima donna, the entitlement of Canelo Alvarez, who has a large fan base, granted, Canelo has a large fan base, but those individuals that stand on the sidelines and protest the very same sport that they support, and they protest Crawford moving up 2 divisions, they're not real fight fans, y'all. This can't be the sweet science. This can't be. Seriously. This can't be the same group of people who's supporting one of the best fighters of this era, and you're complaining about weight classes. Now, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem fitting for fight fans that's supposed to be a community of the hardcore. There's no way in hell you can tell me that you get some joy and excitement out of disapproving Crawford for wanting to move up 2 divisions to fight your guy Canelo Alvarez. A very one-dimensional fighter. Yeah, I said it. A very one-dimensional fighter. History repeats itself. We have another one-dimensional fighter, formerly popped for clenbuterol because he wanted to eat some beef. Anybody and everybody in boxing knew that if you was having training camp over there in Mexico, you need, and as Crawford, you got as much money as Canelo, you need to make sure that you're basically sourcing that meat from the right people. But drum roll, ta-da, Mauricio Suleiman came through for. He said, hey, it has been proven that the meat in Mexico have all certain amounts of clenbuterol, and therefore we're going to raise the levels so we can get this frivolous positive test approved so Canelo can return back to the sport after his suspension and fight Triple G in the rematch. Yes, sir. They increased the levels, y'all. Don't be mad at me and my imagination. Don't be mad at me, goddammit. Don't be mad at me. Canelo like them bulls. Because you know them bulls, they inject them with some of everything. But he in there with a bull this time. It's gonna take more than what he was eating to the lead up to go in here and make easy work. Look, Crawford's no Jaime Munguia. Crawford's no Edgar Berlanga. Crawford's no Jermell Charlo. Crawford's no John Ryder. Crawford's no Triple G. You feel me? You get the picture? Just like y'all was saying that Errol Spence is the best fighter on Canelo's resume, somebody explain to me who's better than Crawford on Canelo's resume. Who's more of a threat? I'm not saying if they matched up and all this, that, and Crawford moved up from 135 and fought one of these guys at 160. No. We're talking about right now, skill for skill, having a full year out the ring to prepare himself for this fight with Canelo Alvarez. Somebody explain to me. How did we get from July 29th, 2024 to Operation No Mas? Crawford did what he was supposed to do, y'all. He made it perfectly clear. I'm hunting Canelo Alvarez now. I became a 4th division champion. I want the guy that they say who's the guy. I want to show the people that I'm him. And we have history that's going to show these same naysayers that shitting on Crawford's name again that you don't know shit about boxing. Yeah. I said it. We're gonna be up here once again. We're gonna have so many people that's going to see the therapist using up their freaking insurance. You're gonna see people in the churches. You're gonna see people praying on their knees. They're taking this fight for granted, y'all. They're really conditioned for punishment. Boxing fans, I swear to God, like I said, leading up to the dang Crawford Spence, they love dysfunctionality. Boxing fans love the abuse. And for those of you that stole my shit, give me credit. They love the abuse. The ones that hate on Crawford, they love the abuse because they know this dude is all about the business. It's evidence that's out there. But they just don't want to change over and say, they don't want to. You got cats out here that's all in on believing that Crawford don't have a chance. You got dudes out here that's believing that certain events will take place like Crawford can't stop them. Like Crawford can't stop those events. Like he cannot prevent those events from happening. He can. Both of these fighters can prevent anything. They're that elite. Their boxing IQ is that high of a level. But when it comes to Crawford, I do believe he can give Canelo one of the best fights of his career and make him quit. He can. Crawford has it in him. 12 rounds, 3 minutes per, a minute in between. Crawford, Bomac. See, that's another thing that y'all just excluding as if it doesn't exist. It's Crawford's team. Crawford's team. See, Eddie Reynoso, they've been going through the reality TV over there. They wanted to bring in Ryan Garcia back. They want to deal with T.O., Mr. I want to make a banana joke here and there. And this, they've been hiring and firing. They've been hiring and firing over their team, Eddie Reynoso. And what did WCS say? I said, man, that shit ain't going to work because his primary focus is Canelo. Sure enough, get out of here. I sent Canelo a tweet about T.O. I said, this is what your representation is. You co-signed T.O. to fight Crawford. when he's out here making racist jokes. But the one thing I know about Eddie Reynoso, he's a no-nonsense dude. He ain't playing that shit. That's his ship. He's the captain. He has the star pupil in Canelo Alvarez. Everybody else is second, third, fourth, fifth. He ain't playing that shit. I wanted y'all to just, take a little pause, because I know people, it's Memorial Day. People out here getting a little bit amped up. You can't hear them all with the, all the information off the conveyor belt. You just got to take a little pause every now and then out of the blue. Let their blood pressure come down. Because when WCS is telling them what the reality may potentially be, they'll say, "Oh man, he's just talking shit." But listen, you can call it what you want. You can call it what you want. This is Operation No Mas. Our whole point is to go in there and stop Canelo. Our whole point is to go in there and beat Canelo. See, the boxing fans that claim that they are constantly learning and nobody knows more boxing than them, they're the same ones that continue to put up falsehoods. They will speak a pseudology all the freaking time. They will act like the words that they're speaking on is normal. When they say a fighter can't do this or a fighter won't do this, it's okay. It's okay. But when you truly in your head believe that you don't have fights like this to come along where it's going to be a part of the greatness label. You know what I'm saying? The greatness label is you have both fighters coming in here with equity on both sides, advantages and disadvantages, strengths and weaknesses. This is what we have coming up September 13th. The only way the outcome can be flawed as if it doesn't play out in its natural state and someone else, the third man or the judges, alter the fight. I'm not thinking about that. I have total faith that Crawford can go in there, cause mayhem and chaos just like he did with Spence, and break down this flat-footed, one-dimensional Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is talented versus the right competition. Okay? A lot of people are talking about Terrence Crawford, and he's old. So is Canelo, goddammit. So is Canelo. Canelo's 34 years of age. Crawford's what, 37? Come on, man. Canelo's been boxing since he was way back in the day over there in Mexico. Guadalajara. I mean, he has miles on the speedometer. Don't get it twisted. He has miles on the speedometer. We know that. And also, you got to look at the Crawford's Reach. The Crawford's Reach may be detriment for Canelo Alvarez. I would no way, shape, or form gauge a William Skull fight and compare him to Crawford. But I'm saying to myself, somebody that is on a much lower tier than Bud Crawford and was just moving around and frustrating and had Canelo with his hands out like a little entitled baby. Give me my passy. I want my passy. Give me my passy. He didn't want to throw no punches, Papa. Papa, he didn't want to throw no punches, Papa. Can you feed me, Papa? Instead of him being the animal that he is, he couldn't even cut off the ring and make him pay. It's funny how you was able to do Caleb Plant, right? Caleb Plant was a mover boxer mover. But when it came to William Skull, You just gave up. You quit. You just pretty much said, you know what? I already got my money. I'm not gonna worry about anything. But with Crawford, is much more of a forcible outcome that Canelo needs. Why? Because a lot of his people are claiming that Crawford is moving up 2 weight division and he can't do it. Look, depending on who you're talking about, hey, depending on who you're talking about, right? They'll say he came up 3 division, 4 division. Depending on, depending on what conversation you listen to, they say Crawford is really a 35er. I mean, to be honest, I'm not trying to be mischievous or anything, but truth be told, man, without any exaggeration, he's a 35er. So what, did Canelo ever fight at welterweight? Yeah, that was so long ago though. But yeah, Crawford, him fighting 35 was so long ago too. What's the difference? Yeah, Canelo didn't come from 35, came from 47. They would not allow you to have a decent boxing conversation to make this fight worth every bit of its value. This is a big time fight. This is another big time fight. And to be this close to the remembrance of July 29th is scary. This is scary, yo. This fight right here has more repercussions attached to it for the outcome of boxing than you know. When Crawford goes in there and shows Canelo Alvarez that he too has made mistakes in making all this money, he too has a drinking problem. He's drunk off his own success. He's drunk off entitlement and being a prima donna. He too will find out. Canelo is not new to losing. He already lost twice, man. And you know he's not trying to lose to another master boxer, a black fighter. He never quite got over that Floyd Mayweather loss. It touched him different, y'all. It touched him different. And boy, did he catapult and leave the launch pad after that Floyd loss. He is on the back end of his career. And he's about to fight somebody that's as skilled as Floyd Mayweather. He's about to fight a fighter that is skilled just like Floyd Mayweather, if not more. But yet he's doing it where his fans are trying to say when he fought Floyd, he was green. Well, he about to fight Crawford. His legs isn't there anymore. MMA, is his legs there? Can we go to the Wizard and get him some strength, MMA? Let's go get Toto. Can we get Crawford? Can we get Canelo his legs back? Do you believe it's possible? Come on, we still have time. It's only June. Can we get him some heart? Can Canelo play the lion? We need to get Canelo some courage. Seriously. Seriously, y'all. Canelo is up here speaking about it's easy money, but yet he's asking 150. From what I understand, he's getting paid 150. Kudos to him for getting the price tag that he wants to fight the most dangerous fight at this point in his career. Kudos to him for getting his money. Kudos to Crawford for getting his highest paycheck. But when it comes down to the evening of events, this is where it gets a bit heartbreaking. This where it gets philosophical. This where it's not a prank anymore. This where it becomes real. Because see, Errol Spence fans are somehow trying to cross over and become Canelo freaking cheerleading squad. They trying to be Canelo's support system. They trying to build up Canelo's community, all because they believe this is a shoe-in. If you think this fight is going to be simple and easy, you're absolutely mistaken. Things are going to fall apart for you real quick. Things are going to fall apart for you real quick. Those of you Canelo fans that just all think it's all about putting up the Mexican colors, it's not it, yo. This is way deeper than the Mexican colors, man. Respect to their flag. Respect to their country. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be way deeper than those Mexican colors. It's going to be way deeper than July 29th, 2023. No, this is way deeper, way more important, way heavier. This is going to sit different on Crawford's mantle. It's going to sit different. When you cut the lights off, the shine is going to hit you different. This is going to be one of those fights where all the criticism is Crawford's little. I heard that same shit with Spence. And he gave you a master class and you still didn't learn shit. Now the professor has to return back September and show all of the ones that was up here. I apologize to y'all. I don't know what. I was drinking heavy during that time. I was so stressed out. I was smoking a lot. I was drinking. I just wasn't eating healthy, period. And my mind wasn't right, y'all. I really didn't think Crawford could go in there and do what he did to Spence. You know, they had that high pitch in their voice, that falsetto. I tried. I lost everything. You know what I'm saying? They got emotional. Them cats got emotional. What do you think is going to be September 14th, though? Come on, man. What do you think is going to be September 14th? I love when people come into a goddamn conversation, right? And they think they're saying something that no one else has heard before. Hey, man, if you think that shit you saying is true, WCS, man, you don't know now. You ain't been around, dog. Man, there ain't no way in hell. See, when I love to hear it ain't no way. I love that shit because it's not the fact of proving somebody wrong. It's the fact that they feel the way they feel and they have to watch the shit play out. They have to watch it play out and they can't do nothing about it. I love hearing that shit. They have to watch it play out. All them aerosexuals that was in that arena with the shirt on underneath their shirts, they was talking about, hey man, I'm feeling good, shot. Hey, woo! Just got back from the bathroom. I got my concessions. Oh man, I'm feeling good. Look, it was all fine until the second round. But I'm not even picking no rounds in this fight. I don't want to do that. I just have total confidence that Crawford is a better fighter than Canelo. See, the Canelo fans are blinded just like the Spence fans were. Unfortunate to the Canelo fans, they're way worse off because Canelo's at a higher division and he's the current undisputed super middleweight world champion. So when you look at that whole set, it doesn't get any better than that. But the biggest problemo of the whole situation is Canelo fans is unwilling to believe that Crawford has a chance to go in there and beat Canelo. They're stuck on what Canelo did way back in the day. Look, let me give you a heartbreaking reality check. We're talking about checks and balances. You know what Canelo fans are talking about? I don't even want to call it. I don't even want to call it out of his name, you know. But you know, I've heard certain people bring up his knockout of James Kirkland. They will bring up James Kirkland knockout as a way to push their narrative. James Kirkland, y'all. James Kirkland. They bringing up James Kirkland. That is a way for them to kind of prove that Canelo was doing what he's supposed to do. I don't think Canelo has really had a knockout in a long ass time in his last 10 fights plus. The last person that he had a knockout. Let's look at Canelo's last freaking knockout. It's been a long time, so let me get my passport. God damn it, I got to get my passport and go traveling and try to find out. It's been just outside the pandemic, y'all. November 2021. God damn, and that was Caleb Plant. The last stone that he had to get to become undisputed. Wow, it's been Caleb Plant, y'all. He hasn't had a knockout since Bivol, Golovkin, Ryder, Charlo, Munguia, Berlanga, Skull. Now he's up here with Crawford, and his fans are saying, well, one thing we know for sure, that Canelo has the power to knock out Crawford. WCS is not up here talking about like Canelo what he don't have. Canelo has all the tools in the box, bro. He's certified. That I will not hold you on. Canelo is certified. He's an OG. But so is Crawford. Crawford is an OG in the game too. It doesn't matter about the quantity that hosts your resume, your body of work, your portfolio as a professional boxer. It's just an encapsulation of everything that you've been able to accomplish and how people look at you. People can hate you, but yet they can respect you. They may not scream your success. They may when they behind closed doors in silence and having those sidebar conversations with their peeps. Yeah. I ain't want to say this on YouTube, but nor did I want to talk about it in the private chat, but man, it's going to be a tough fight for Canelo. I know Crawford's moving up 2 divisions. Just something about this fight just, it pinches me different, man. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it pinches me different. It's just something about this fight. I just don't see Canelo going in there and walking through Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the way he looked against School. School is just having his way, just moving around, playing, and Canelo just didn't care. He looked old, tired, fatigued. He looked like he was antiquated. He looked like he was one of those boxers that's looking to hang up the gloves. That's what they were saying behind closed doors. But on YouTube, on social media, their attitude and the tone of their voice is different. They want to stick to what they consciously think is acceptable on these panels. I love going to these panels and just sitting back in the shadows. Hey, man, call it what you want, shawty. I love going to these panels, just sitting back in the shadows and shit. Hey, I'm in my sobriety. I ain't smoking. I ain't drinking, man. I may be sipping on a goddamn ball of water, but I'm paying attention, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying attention. I got to hear what the naysayers are talking about when it comes to Crawford Canelo. Because truth be told, they will get mad at me reliving July 29th. No, don't get mad. Understand it's a reason for me to refresh your memories, because the way you all was freely talking about as if you was true boxing heads that Errol Spence was just going to run through Crawford just tells me you don't know shit about the sport. You might know a little bit, but you don't know shit about it. Because y'all are more so about reality social media. Y'all want to get on the panels where it's the echo chamber. Everybody's talking. I don't like that shit. You know, the hottest chat in the MF game. I can't say there's one person on here that's a follower. I can't say. The ones I know, I can't say none of them are followers. They're not going to just agree me to check the box and say, okay, cool. That's what I want to say. Yeah, it feels good to me. But all these other than channels, man, you disagree with the topic and they goddamn timing you out. Man, salute to the masculinity. Ugh. Woo, salute to the testosterone is in that chat, bro. But back to Canelo Alvarez. Do you think he has a goal here? I mean, I know somebody sent him Operation No Mas, and I even still have September 12th date up there too. I left it up there for a reason, man. Because look, the games had already began. They went from the 13th to the 12th back to the 13th. The real message is, can Canelo go full 12 rounds with Crawford? My question is not, can Crawford go full rounds with Canelo? I look at Crawford as one of these people that's always have told you what his message was. He said he always had to prove himself in life. When you got a person that always had to prove themselves in life, they operate off a different type of cylinders. Serious. Crawford's mindset psychologically is different. A person that's always trying to strive to be nothing more than first place is different. Now, some people are going to say, well, Canelo's always strived to be, hey, Canelo, I'm not saying he didn't strive to be first place. I'm just telling you what I've heard Crawford speak about his mentality. When he decided to unleash on Spence in the 9th round, he was trying to decapitate that dude. Did you not see that? Did your obstacles prohibit you from exploring that area right there? Did you not explore what you was watching? That was about to be National Geographic. For real, that was about to be National Geographic in there. Emphasis on the graphic. If Harvey Dock wouldn't have been the referee, and it would have had one of those other referees that allows the fight to take place until total carnage lies in front of the crowd, then Errol Spence would have been pretty much straddled out on the canvas. But the way Crawford unleashed that fury in the 9th round to close out that fight was vicious. There's another telltale, conversation that always is said about Crawford. People tend to, once again, say they like hardcore boxing. They're hardcore fight fans. They love the sweet signs. But within the sweet signs, fighters fight, right? So Crawford is criticized for being a fighter. That's wild, ain't it? They say when Crawford gets in certain situations where he gets hit, he has to get back. I thought this was boxing. Isn't that what we all speak on? We spend countless hours on here discussing, bouncing ideas, running topics, conversational threads, typing, hyping, whatever you want to call it. Isn't that what it's about? But they criticize Crawford for being a fighter. They say every time that one of his opponents land a good shot, he just want to throw everything out the window and go and bang out. So my point for mentioning that is they're trying to imply that there will be a sense of gratification for them when he tries that on Canelo Alvarez and it doesn't work. That's what they believe the gratification is going to become. They believe Canelo Alvarez is the fighter that can slow that and stop it. I don't think he can. I think Canelo is in there with the perfect opponent who's going to basically give us a full-blown scientific demonstration on how you shut down a fighter once again and make somebody look like nobody. Crawford is going to make Canelo Alvarez become a science experiment once again, just like Errol Spence. He's going to make Canelo, who is somebody in boxing, look like nobody. Now, of course, if you was to basically grab hold and go to your favorite search engine and put in this type of information, you're not going to find something that's going to come back that you can say, okay, yeah. No. This is criteria that you're going to find within the media realm after the 13th. On the late evening of the 13th, early morning of the 14th, I don't have any self-doubt that Crawford is the guy to go in there and shut Canelo down. Like I said before, he understands what losing is. He's been defeated before. Just because Crawford has my mindset is not saying, well, this is going to be the moment that can. No. I believe this fight is happening at this specific time with these two specific fighters for a reason in the sport of boxing. The shifts that are going on in boxing has never happened before. What we're seeing taking place in the sport of boxing, I mean, we never had this type. It's still chaotic, right? But with this fight right here, yo, hold that thought for a second. Okay, I'm back, man. Listen. Shout out to everybody in the chat. It's really a lot of comments. It's in the chat. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. And also shout out to the strays if you in the building. But look, when it comes to Operation No Mas, right? Everybody has their little theme that they put out there. I don't really consider. I believe what I put out there, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't worry about the friend zoning. People that want to agree or disagree, it's all good. But like I said before, Canelo hasn't looked that domineering since he gave Triple G a freaking um what you call that, a comp ticket for a trilogy. He gave Triple G a comp ticket. Hey, buddy, I seen you out on the porch in your rocking chair. That thing rocks back and forth smooth. You put some new springs in it. Do you want a trilogy? The fans are calling for it. Real? They're calling for a trilogy between us? Yeah. But hey, buddy, make it easy for you. You can do it at 168. I know you like 160, but we're going to bring it up to 168. Less weight that you have to cut. You want to do it? Yeah, sure. Okay, buddy. Hey, I'm going to send that paperwork over to you. Just sign right there and we'll make it happen. Nobody was calling for the trilogy between him and Triple G. Canelo is just walking and getting over and collecting checks for fighting over the hill opposition. And look, I know it's some youngins in here like Edgar Berlanga and all them cats, but I'm talking about Triple G right now. He didn't have to fight that man after 7 fights. The rematch, it was over. The first fight hit, the second fight hit. That's all we needed from them two. But he gave Triple G a third fight after he said Triple G was talking shit and he was mad and all this other stuff. Come on, man. The same person that denied David Benavidez because he's talked shit. Man, you a fraud. You can't be a fraud with Crawford. And a part of me don't blame Canelo for being who he is when you at the top. I'm serious. Like, I would be such a hypocrite to say that Canelo has earned the type of spot that he has at a different elevation over his career for a reason. So for him to act a certain way, to say certain things about certain people, I get it, but it's called ducking at the end of the day. It's called avoidance. Yes. When you sit up here and say so-and-so's talking shit and you no. Bullshit. Because Canelo talks shit about people all the time. But I'm glad this fight right here is being made because it's going to continue to change the history of boxing. Crawford gets to go in here, a person that hasn't really followed in the footsteps of his black compeers in the sport. Do y'all know where I'm at with it? Let me explain. A lot of these fighters who happen to look like myself, they always wear the Mexican colors. Always. But I can't remember a time that Crawford chose to represent and pay homage to the Mexican colors as a black fighter. I just never seen him do it. I seen all these other fighters in order to get their fan base. Nothing against the Mexican fan base, but they want to support. They want to get that extra support from the Mexican fan base. I didn't see it. I didn't see Crawford doing that. I didn't see him. What's that word I'm looking for? Kissing. I didn't see him doing it. I saw him walk down to the ring with fish nets hanging off his shoes and trunks. I thought I was at a bass competition. I said, hey, hold up. Where the boats at? How they gonna do this shit? I don't see no goddamn waterways up in this bitch. What is he doing? Why he got a fish net on this motherfucker? I mean, what's going on? Somebody gonna dump a motherfucking goddamn beluga whale in this bitch and he gonna catch it with a net? What's going on? I've never seen Crawford try to wear the sombreros and Mexican colors to try to build up his fan base. He pretty much did it his way. And I respect that. Just like Canelo, he's reached a certain height in his career where he's making the money. But when it comes down to who are you getting paid to fight, this when the shifts plays a huge, significant role. Turkey Al-Sheikh is coming up here putting up this money and making the fights, and dudes are losing all over the place. I just wonder how this fight is going to play out. Like, First of all, we thought it was going to be in Vegas, but we're not sure where it's going to be now. And you know, all this talk about Crawford needs a knockout, I don't think he needs a knockout to beat Canelo. They said the same thing about Bivol. They say Bivol needs a knockout, even though they was trying to screw him over. Not all the judges, but a couple of them. He didn't need a knockout to beat Canelo. Teofimo Lopez didn't need a knockout to beat Lomachenko. I'm just being honest. They're thinking Crawford needs some type of concession or some type of freaking gift outside of his natural strength and God-given boxing ability to go in there and beat Canelo head up. No, I think he has everything that he needs, and his team, man, his team. I think Crawford's team is better than Eddie Reynoso and Canelo. I'm serious. I think right now, Crawford's team is better. They're gonna have a better game plan. Yes. I like what I've seen. I like what I've seen with the instructions that Bomac was giving Crawford, and Crawford still being a student of the game. Like we got some of these top-notch fighters that don't listen to their corner. But you got Crawford out here still listening to his corner. Come on, bro. Dude was still listening to his corner. You have to give him credit for still listening to his corner. Real talk. Still listen to his corner.
Fucking slow for you. All right? You get a chance, counter that fucking jab over the fucking top. Sometimes turn that jab into a hook, all right? You don't have nothing left. You keep me to stay on the inside. Catch and counter.
And you know, yeah, I had to mess around with that scar tissue a little bit and show you old footage. It's okay. Just dab it dry and it'll heal back up. Just put some ointment on it. You know what I'm saying? Some Neosporin and some back tracing, and you'll be good. But the amazing at this level, at this point in his career, how he still takes the adjustments, not the orders, but the instructions, yo. The instructions that Bomac was giving him. Turn that jab into a hook, man. I see too many fighters that hang around Crawford that don't listen to their corner, yo. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you listen to your corner? I'm pretty sure Crawford, where he's at right now, 40 victories into the game before he, 39 victories into the game when he was stepping in for his 40th fight. I'm pretty sure, a lot of people could have said, hey, man, he didn't have to listen to Bomac. He could have just did what he did. Okay. But the instructions was executed perfectly. Perfectly, y'all. What else has to be done? Because come September 14th, man, I'm not going to continue to spin the wheel like his wheel of fortune and hopefully that it land on the right spot. Me, I'm looking at the EAR, the experience, the action of that experience, and the reflection back on the action. I'm going to talk about the reflection all the freaking time because I'm hearing some of the same tune, the same hooks, the same instruments being played that Canelo ain't no bigger than Crawford, yo. Crawford has a longer reach. Y'all talking about how Canelo will be a fool to rehydrate up and come in there. You didn't see what happened to Gilberto Ramirez when he came in there all huge against Dimitri Bivol? He almost got stopped. And Zerto's my guy. He almost got stopped. Yes, sir. So if you think Canelo coming in there all big against a Crawford who's had a year to prepare himself, a year. He will be outside of a year preparing himself. And not only that, it would be even longer than that because Bomac said they've been looking at Canelo Alvarez for quite some time. You think Team Canelo has been looking at Crawford for quite some time? I don't think so. I don't think they've been paying attention to Crawford being on their radar. They might have been complacent, but Bomac said we've been studying Canelo Alvarez for years. But to the Canelo fans, I ask you this respectfully: stop backpedaling, okay? Please stop backpedaling off the school fight, saying that Canelo legs are gone. No, Crawford will be 38 this September. Canelo is currently 34. We don't want to hear no excuses like we did with Spence. He smoked the weed. If Spence chose to smoke a blunt before he walked down to get that ass whooping, well, that's right. That's the reason why he kept getting up then. That weed helped him get up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I heard so many excuses. That wasn't Spence. It was a clone. He was, the whole goddamn treadmill. You can't fit too many more excuses on the treadmill. The shit just been on running in place forever and a day, bro. The same shit. But the biggest question is Canelo fans going to give this man full-blown credit once he go in there and make Canelo fight look somewhat easier than what people expected? It's not impossible. You can dispute it all day long. But you all who are coming up here saying that Canelo legs look done, that's the same shit you said about Crawford when he fought Madrimov. Make up your fucking mind. It's the same time. Like, come on. When are y'all going to stop, man? It's the same thing. Like, yo, stick to one side. You said Crawford legs was gone. Now you're saying Canelo legs was gone. And then y'all act like, oh man, it's no freaking double dutch over here. I got Crawford beating Canelo Alvarez. And just because I keep talking about Operation No Mas and shit like that, don't worry about the Legion Stadium. Don't worry about the information, man. The whole point is Operation No Mas is right here, right now. What's in the past does come to the present. And I truly believe this is one of those times where the past is going to repeat itself. Crawford is going to go in there and provide Canelo Alvarez with a reminder. Just because you're at the top doesn't mean you get complacent. Doesn't mean that you just focus more on your checks. I think Canelo is just focused on his checks. And why wouldn't he? The dude is bathing in money right now. Canelo is bathing in money. That dude got stallions on his property. He's bathing. I could care less about Canelo's money. I just care to comment on, if you say that Crawford's easy money, why are you asking for 150 though? You got your money, right? So now your fans are saying like, okay, is Canelo going to give us the performance that we want? Or is Canelo going to go in here and act like the money is already in his account? Is he going to give us minimal effort, knowing there's a rematch clause, and just collect 2 checks? What is going to happen? When Crawford goes in there and beat Canelo, is Canelo going to come out and be rolled out of a Target with a patch over his eye and say, I don't mean to say, but my eye. What do you mean your eye? Crawford punched me in eye. I don't want to hear that. He want to activate his rematch clause in the 30-day window, but he ended up bailing out. No. And then after Crawford beat Canelo, it's up to him on what he want to do next. I would love him to go back down to 54 and goddamn beat up on Charlo and everybody else is down there. But it's up to him, man. or stop at 60 and pick up a belt and become a 6th division champion. I mean, at that point, get paid for what you worth. But this ain't the end. This ain't the end, man. No. This ain't the last. This ain't the end. I just had to come over here and refresh people's memory that y'all making up excuses. Y'all talking that same Spence talk on stuff that you can't see. You can't see. You're gonna see it. Real talk. Don't worry about it. Hey, the aerosexuals couldn't see it either. They even plan a private trip, the low crawl into Vegas. They don't know we here. They don't know we here, baby. Yeah. They didn't know what was about to come down to the ring. They never knew. They never know, y'all, until that bell rung. And boy, they was high-fiving each other. That's a Spence round. Yeah, 1 down, 11 to go. I'm trying to give y'all free counseling, okay? If it's anything I can do today, I want to give you free counseling. You know what I'm saying? I want to do this shit free of charge, pro bono. You know what I'm saying? Giving back to the community. That keep faith. This ain't the last time. Let me go to the hottest chat in the MFA game. Let me see what people has to say. Daily hey man, shout out to Swa Jones for the $10 in the Cash App. I appreciate you, Swa, always supporting the channel. You know what I'm saying? Much appreciated. One love, big dog. Bud one, salute to him, but y'all dragging it. Well, what we dragging, Emily? What we dragging? How we dragging anything? I don't like dragging shit, because you drag shit, it get dirty. What am I dragging? Did something I say not sit well with you? Did it make your stomach bubble? It's not what I'm talking about. It may be your nutritional value in believing that you're eating the same meat as Canelo Alvarez, and it just doesn't sit well with you. Or you ever thought about that, brother? You might want to go take a spoonful of Pepto-Bismol. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to ILTBA Boxing in the building. What it do, man? Y'all go over there and be sure to support the Spit Bucket Podcast, man. I got BG saying, yeah, he's standing on all 10, saying he gonna stop. He's standing on his 10, say Bud gonna stop Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Look in the description. Hey, look at the description, man. Hey, I don't know what's gonna happen, man. I don't know what's gonna happen. Can you put your address in the private chat, man? I'm gonna send you a couple of care packages, man, to get you through the goddamn shit again. Because I know you didn't quite recover from the T-Mobile Massacre, right? This time I'm gonna do my part. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do my part. They always taught us to do this as a vet. Sending out care packages, to our fellow vets that's in combat. And then when I was over there, I used to love them care packages, yo. Hey, put your address in the chat, man, so I can send you the care packages out. Hey, it don't matter if it's 2 years. When did we talk about fights that was decades ago? How are you gonna say it's 2 years ago? Like that's a long time. That's short. The window's still cracked. The breeze is still coming in. Come on, man. We still remember the smoke. The fire truck showed up. They say, "Oh, we received a call from this." No. The T-Mobile is okay. Okay, it's a legal sanctioned bout. And no, there's no homicide that took place, okay? The referee stopped the fight, TKO. Yeah, but what you was witnessing on TV, it was legal. Okay. Man, they said that guy was getting beat up and nobody was helping him. I said, no. The people that you saw on the outside of the ring, they are the boxing fans. They are the consumers. They purchase a ticket, okay? What you see going down in the ring was supposed to happen that way. Okay. But I'll tell you like this. I thank you for your service. And also come back September 13th. Okay. If you really want to be a part, it's the same thing. The same thing is gonna happen. Okay. Don't talk about it's 2 years. Don't talk about 2 years, man. 2 years is nothing. 2 years is nothing. We must commemorate. Okay. Who in the retirement talks? I'm gonna stop high and you fraud network. Yep, Errol could have took the rematch and Charlo could have been next, but they both ducked. Yeah, we know Charlo ran. Charlo was sponsored. You know, ASICs enjoyed that fight because it showed the soles of their shoes and the new balance, you know, type of structure, you know, new structure that they had in their soles. Yeah, they really liked that. They was able to see the soles of Charlo's ASICs, man, as he was running around the ring. Very, very unique. He got great airtime with that. Bud reneged on the rematch. Come on now. Let's act like we're not intoxicated already because Memorial Day. Come on now. Some of y'all act like y'all been mixing. Look, there's certain things you shouldn't mix with Mad Dog 2020, y'all. And that's Paul Masson. Some of you niggas act like you mixing shit that don't go together. You know what I'm saying? Some of you niggas look like you fucked up because you drunk wine coolers last night and then you want to drink some hard shit today. Stop fucking around. Be responsible. Okay? I'm trying to tell y'all aerosexuals, be responsible. Stop just mixing drinks together and think that goes together and you ain't eating shit. You ain't got shit on your stomach. Stop coming in here sipping on Hypnotic and say, hey, this shit's still good. Hey, man, Malik, you know, he just talking his boxing talk. The only thing you can do is educate him, man. How can Bud sit up here and renege on a fight at 154 when Spence ain't healthy enough? The last time we checked, Spence jumped in the ring trying to stop Bud from fighting Sebastian Fundora. To my now it's time to fight the big dog and showing us a slip that he had betted on Fundora to beat Tim Tszyu. Man, I mean, then he's supposed to step back in and fight so-and-so. Man, come on. Bud don't have no liability on why Spence is still tardy. It's the same regurgitation of Spence fans hating Bud all over again. For real, man. I mean, it comes a time, Haynes, where they, you know, if I could have a camera on the back end, I bet a lot of these guys, man, if you look around their mic area and where they do their live streams, they still have that stain there from July 29, 2023, that vomit stain. These cats, man, had to get brand new PCs and shit, man. They didn't even clean the carpet area around their damn PC area, bro. They was hurt. You know what I'm saying? All the goddamn tears. You know, water and electronics don't go together. It was tears all in there and shit, man. Area just smelling like straight putrid. For real. And nobody can blame Crawford except the haters. The people up here blaming Crawford as if he should have did something else at 154. What I would say that the blame is that they was giving him very minimal credit at 147 for knocking out and stopping those opponents. But you expected him to go in there and beat Madrigal. Make it make sense. Like, if the competition wasn't the way it's supposed to be, right, and y'all didn't give him any credit, why did y'all expectations get higher when he moved up to 154? You said he was nobody. Hey, IO, who is we though? I don't know who we is. When you we, maybe I forgot. I'm getting a little older, man. Sometime I forget, man. Girl school been gone. We definition. I need to see what we is. Hey, I'm looking up we. We is used by a speaker to refer to himself or herself and one or more other people considered together. Okay. So you have 2 or 3 other people that's standing with you on this that you consider we. I get it. So it's a spec. It's a spec. You're talking about a spec in the boxing community. A we. I just don't know who the we is you're talking about. The we. Who's the we picking Canelo? I don't know who the we is. We know who the Crawford support system consists of. You know what I'm saying? But when we talk about I don't want to call it fiction because they do exist, but at the end of the day. What did Bud say yes to what 54 rematch? Man, come on, Malik, do better, bro. Malik. You know when people call your name. When you was younger, they call your name 3 times. And you was in trouble, man. Malik, come on, man. We still talking about 154 rematch when clearly Errol Spence has not been fit for duty. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on, let's do better, y'all. Okay, can I request that from you all? Let's do better. I mean, look, he's already been beat up pre-fight by the haters and naysayers. When you put Bud in that type of weather, you know what I'm saying, inclement weather at that. I mean, the only thing that's bound to happen is what? It's going to make him tougher. All the hate that was going on X prior to the Errol Spence. Come on, man. He was taking that shit on the chin. They was getting real personal. Now that he has that in the rearview mirror, what are they doing now for Canelo? They want to come up and talk about size. I mean, they want to get belligerent for no reason with Bud. I thought it was just about boxing, though. Why aren't you getting belligerent with a fighter who popped dirty? Why aren't y'all getting belligerent about that? Y'all never talk about the man who loved them big, strong, bodacious bulls. What about the fighter who loves those bodacious bulls? Oh, that beef is just juicy. Ooh. When you got that Canelo money, you can order the bodacious bulls. What about that, man? What about ordering the bodacious beef? The one that is so juicy with all the minerals that was injected to make you feel like you are the Hulk, Superman, Joker, all them. You know what I'm saying in one. Come on, bro. Once again, I'll put this PSA out there. You cannot practice. You're not allowed to practice on saying that Bud Crawford is responsible for anything that went down that deals with him not stepping through the ropes in a rematch with Spence. You just can't do it. You're not being honest, man. You're not. Come on, man. Deviate from the common path. Take the off-road. Okay. Sometimes you see some shit you wouldn't see by driving the main road. Take the off-road. Just go sightseeing a little bit. All right. Get some pretty good speed up there. Okay. Especially in Vegas. Okay. Take your ass off-road when you get into Death Valley. Just go off-road a little bit. All right. And drive away from the roadway. Yeah. And so you can experience what Bud was going through every time he's about to go into a big fight. And then when you continue to improve your body of work, people always want to try to break it down with criticism. He go in there and beat a guy who had 10 professional wins, but yet We can't remember when they were saying, hey, man, that's a true 154 pounder. Bud too small. This guy is a decorated amateur. Oh, my God. Bud has effed up. This is not going to be what he. Come on, man. The same freaking chorus, man. Get them off stage. Get them off stage. No. Y'all sing the same song all the time. And then when he beat my Jamal, man, he only had 11 fights. I mean, what was Bud supposed to do? He fought the easy. Man, come on, bro. He couldn't even knock out a guy with 11 fights. That kind of takes me back to when Floyd's always mentioning Ali losing to a fighter with 7 pro fights. Not to mention that he allowed that guy to win so he can become champion. I mean, you can't tell him anything, bro. Spence couldn't beat Crawford in any way. Just admit he's not Bud's level. It's not going to happen, man. It's that D word again. You know what I'm saying? Their hands, it's that D word. Denial. They're in denial, bro. That is symptoms. That is one of the symptoms that I have found to be a common problem within these Canelo fans slash Errol sexuals. They have that denial virus. For real, not the Nile virus, the denial virus. They have the denial virus, y'all. This is something that has ravaged this community of boxing. They have the denial virus. It's tough, man. And look, I don't think they have anything, a vaccination, anything to cure it. But something that can give it temporary relief, just like it did July 29th, is when Crawford go in there and put on one of the best performances of his boxing career. And once again, have these 48-hour content creators go in here issuing apologies. That's what we're going to hear. Yeah, they're going to be up here in the first 48. Yeah, I like to say the evidence that I've collected from what I witnessed September 13th, I have to say that Crawford, even though I knew he can do it, I told y'all he can do it. But I didn't want him to do it, but he did it anyway. He beat Canelo up, man. I mean, I just got to go homeless again. I'm homeless again. I bet everything on it. Just when I was getting on my feet, man, I'm back homeless again, man. I'm telling you. That's what it's going to be. They're going to be in here first 48, bro. They're going to be in here apologies. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. They're going to be back on the mic expressing, hey, man, I can't believe this happened to me again. Yeah. My nigga. Yeah. Just can't wait. Why are people so angry talking about Bud ducking? Come on, Malik. Come on, man. You're wasting oxygen on Memorial Day. Come on, man. Let me see what Io said. I'm not that good at English. Let me put my fingertip up to the screen and see if I can read a little Braille. Somehow my English interpretation is it ran dry. I'm not able to. He said Kype. Let's see, the Same, that's too hard for me to read, man. That's too hard for me to read, dog. Seriously, that's too hard for me to read, man. I've been struggling lately with English. Real talk. I don't know, man. If it's oncoming freaking form of dyslexia or just like a lack of interpretation when it comes, comprehension and all that. Neurologically, shit is popping off the wrong way, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a hard time reading, man. They still raining on the performance 2 years ago. Hell yeah, we is, man. Yes, man. We can never forget that appointment. Io, come on now. That shit is not going to deteriorate, deteriorate to maybe about 30, 40, 50 years. By that time, I'll be dancing in the cemetery. Hey, 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 come give it now. Come give it now. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah, I like this. Come on. All the rest of the spirits. Yeah, come on. Let's get it. I mean, I'm not going to be, that shit's still going to be popping 50 years from now, shawty. It's going to be popping. Errol sexual and pain. Yeah, man. Hey, Miguel, we know that's a common theme here. We still have those strays, those aerosexual strays that never recovered. They're trying to come in here with a passionate level of energy. Like they want to keep it on boxing, but they just can't help themselves. They got to go back to hating on Crawford, bro. They want to come in here like they really are enthusiastic about boxing, the fight that's coming up between Canelo and Crawford. But no, they always result back to what got them in a pickle to begin with. And that's July 29, 2023. When they, with their own eyes, they seen the bad news play out in front of them. I mean, just think about that. When you're trying to plan a covert mission to Vegas with your smoking Bud Pack shirt on, when Errol Spence took to the streets in his tactical mission to shut down the first set of shirts, but to tell people, hey, I'm taking them off the site, and now I'm putting up the smoking Bud Pack shirts. Let me go out into the intersection and act like I'm in another accident. Got him. They got him. They planned a covert meeting and snuck their ass into goddamn Vegas. They thought they had the whole world in their hands. They thought the whole world in their hands. They thought they had the whole community in their hands, and they're gonna take that big ass picture after the fight and talking about smoking on Bud Pack. No. That didn't happen. You know, the good thing about it is like a lot of these videos are still in their catalog. And if you want some humor, oh my God, I haven't even got around to doing that shit. I'm gonna wait, but the humor of that day, the reactions of those who was live, oh my God, it's just priceless. You cannot put any type of numeric value on that. It was just unbelievable, man. Boxing talk. Y'all hate when we bring up Spence. Man, it's like they don't get it, man. You know, time I bring up that was a long time ago. It wasn't a long time ago, man. It wasn't. It wasn't that long time ago, man. He won, man. He won. He did what he's supposed to do. He won. It's nuts. These Spence fans really on their cinnamon bun train saying all the same nonsense. Y'all could wait for the massacre either. That didn't end well for y'all. Hey man, Haynes, let them talk, man. Let them build up all their energy, get hydrated. You know, I mean, look, put it this way. Salute to the people that have these rehab centers for those who sometimes have addiction problems. This is no different for the aerosexuals. Who am I to compare aerosexuals to the Canelo fans? I just feel there's some type of infiltration going on here, where the aerosexual is trying to sort some type of membership, man. Be fake about it. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to be fake about it, yo. They know goddamn well they're not Canelo fans. You know they're not Canelo fans, yo. Yeah, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. They knew what went down. I mean, they actually didn't have to go through poverty to get back, but I wanted to go back to the rehab centers. They shout out to the rehab centers that assist these people in getting back on their feet. But a couple of friends of mine that I talked to in these rehab centers, they say the biggest problem they had and still exists to this day is that they having a slow process with the aerosexuals and trying to get them back out and integrate into society. They say that's the worst. Like they love them padded rooms, for real. They love those padded rooms, man. They have to do extra exercises for them aerosexuals that was up here talking the same talk they talking about Canelo. Another one-dimensional fighter who they're boosting up and trying to say that Bud Crawford don't have a chance. I'm just telling you the way I see it. Yeah, I want to see a press conference too. I want to see when Errol's coming back. I want to see him strapped, man. Y'all talk about Gamboa and Mean Machine. Why can't we bring up Spence? Man, come on, talk to him, man. Talk to him, dog. If IO is still in the chat, sir, can you answer that? Y'all always bring up Gamboa and Mean Machine. Sir, why can't we talk about the 29th of July 2023, man? Come on, it ain't fair, yo. It ain't fair, yo. It ain't fair. For real. Why can't we talk? Y'all talk about freaking all that other stuff, man. Y'all always bringing up Gamboa, man, who he stopped. Fought in his hometown. But y'all speak on it as if Bud took his loss. No, Gamboa was not Canelo's Floyd Mayweather. Stop it. Stop it. Hey, man, I don't think it's underestimating anymore, Haynes. I think it's just their stubbornness, and they still kind of messed up off the medication. My friends who work in that department, they was telling me, they said, oh, hey, we gave them some strong shit, man, and still ain't working. We still working on this process. We still working on them. You know, they still got that damn residual, that SA, that side effect from the damn medication, bro. For real, that's what it is. If y'all still get mad because I got this thumbnail up there, because Canelo selected to eat from the own bulls, the bodacious bulls that he has on his property, don't get mad at me, man. Dude, look, dude, this is how freaking discriminatory this shit is. People will talk about Madrimov, right? They would talk about Madrimov, but they won't talk about Skull. They would talk about Madrimov, but they won't talk about how atrocious that fight looked with a number one guy like Canelo, who's getting paid the most in boxing. Well, the heavyweights have been getting paid too, but he's still getting paid the most. How do you explain the performance value of a William School and you just basically running around the ring doing nothing? Doing absolutely nothing, yo. Shout out to Puma in the building. For sure, man. For sure. If I would have known ahead of time, I might would have dropped in, but I've been so busy, bro. I've been so busy. You ever on the southern part, let me know for sure. Shout out to 918 in the building. Hey, y'all, but I got to bounce, man. Yeah, let me put this up here. When people say legendary, they get it. Hey, talk to him, bro. Talk to him. Let him know, man. Yeah, man, they up there drinking Mad Dog 2020, mixing that shit with goddamn wine coolers and some Moscato. Coming here drinking some sweet and goddamn black as shit, dog. Hey, BG, man, what the fuck we talking about, dog? You know what we talking about? Up here drinking Paul Masson and tequila. It don't go together, shawty. Come on, man. You know, it don't work that way, man. Hey, if y'all gonna go ahead and say, you know, Buzz resume, man, at least put some content to it. Put, you know, some context to it. That's all I'm saying. But hey, I gotta bounce, man. Y'all hold it down. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game, man. We should do it again.